Hey, what's up YouTube, it's CaptainGX here, and sorry about the glare, it's a little annoying, I know, but, most of my video will not be shown in my fish. I am in Florida right now, what's this cool? Shark necklace. But I'm not here to talk about my shark necklace or Florida. I'm here to give you guys, I know I touched upon the Royal Paladin in my deck profile, which I'll leave a link in the description below on my Alfred. But I'm mostly here to give you guys some of my combo plays with my Royal Paladins on how it works, why I run that card, or why I don't run that card, why I don't run this card. First, I'm going to start off by saying I don't run MLB. I don't like MLB because, in my opinion, this is only my opinion. So you don't have to go along with my opinion. You can agree with my opinion, but you don't have to go along if you don't want to. So here we go. Let's start off my reasoning why I don't run MLB. For one thing, I've tried MLB. I've tried running variations of MLB with Spirit MLB, with no Spirit MLB, just the basic build for MLB. But I found that the deck is not as consistent as Alfred beat, and consistency is so important for me because I get so frustrated if I don't have consistency, and I need that consistency to make my deck go. I need to minus, I need to plus, I need to do everything I need to do. I want to do everything I need to do to beat the crap out of my opponent. I don't want. I mean, yes, MLB attack for 11 or something, 12 or 11 on his own with 2 in the soul. I don't want that. I don't want my deck be based on just having one monster on the field and 2 cards. That's like a one comp. I don't like that. I like having options in my deck. I like having other ways to win in my deck. That's why I like Alfred beat. Alfred beat has choices. Alfred beat has plays, and I have a few tech choices in my deck that I got from people helping me to better the deck, and I will explain my choices right now. So guys, I'm going to leave a link in the description for my deck profile below. Go check it out, then come back here and watch this video. And so yeah, so let's get on with the discussion. So first card I want to discuss that you might have seen in the deck is this card right here. Starco Trumpeter. Now, with Starco Trumpeter, people are thinking like, oh, why are you running that? You're not running MLB. Now, in this deck, I run 2 copies of her. Now, the reason being is for... Hold on. 1, 2... 3. The reason being is for these 3. Now, here's my plays. Here's a play with this card. Now, you might be saying, this kid's so stupid. He's running freaking Blast-Related Spirit, but no. The reason I'm running Spirit is because of her. This card pluses me and minuses my opponent. I counterblast 2 to call him. Counterblast 1 to retire a unit. Now, you might be saying, oh, why don't you, Alfred just search from deck. Now, Alfred does search from deck, but what he does is you counterblast 3 to call a monster. So now, if I wanted to counterblast 3, I mean, I do counterblast 3 than him, but then you need 4 damage for that. You need 4 damage to go. Alfred, call, counterblast 1. You need 4 damage. With her, you just need 1 card. You don't have to waste your 3. You have Alfred. Okay. Let me show you guys. Here's my Alfred. Now, my hand, I say I'm at like 3 damage. Instead of going counterblast 3, get a grade 2, I go call. Now, say I have like 7 cards in hand, right? I go call, counterblast 2. Instead of 1, not 3, 2. Then I superior call Spear from the deck. So now, right now, I have my field I have 2 back row. 1 from my hand, 1 not from my hand. 1 from my deck. So my hand is still at 6. My hand's still at 6. Then I call Then I counterblast 1 minus my opponent. So right now I'm tossing. Right now, just by calling him from deck, calling her then him from deck, I'm tossing because I'm going call from deck. Then I'm minusing my opponent by retiring one of their units. And so if it would be just like Alfred and I didn't have her in hand, I'd be like, and I was at 3 damage, I'd be like, call Gallopine, 10k does nothing, attack. Instead of doing that, I call a grade 1 grade 2 to call a grade 10 from my deck. So in the long run, I'm not minusing myself anything. I'm filling in my field and keeping my hand at 6. And then I put 2 back on and I got my hand at 4. And then I attack with Alfred and I got freaking Twin Drive. Now, the only con to having Blaster Blade Spirit is that when he's attacked by anything, he gets retired. But the thing is that makes him an open target, and they'll probably go for him first. Because, I mean, yeah, he was like, oh, I don't want him into something, we're going to kill him first. That means that Alfred's safe. Alfred has 1 more attack, and I can guard another attack. And, okay, another good quality of him is that, unlike Blaster Blade, regular Blaster Blade, I love Blaster Blade. Both these are my freaking 2 favorite cards in the deck. Okay, this is my field, right? Now, if I rode regular Blaster Blade, and he had like, say a 10k Vanguard. I attack 14. Your opponent has to guard with 1 5k. That's it. Just 5k. And your opponent can guard the whole thing. But with Blaster Blade Spirit, and if they don't want anything past, they have to guard with 10k. Yeah, if they don't want, but with Blaster Blade Spirit, you ride Blaster Blade Spirit, and that's a 15 attack, and with Wingle Brave behind him. And then Wingle Brave gets search, but that's a different thing. You never search for him from your deck, but let's go. I'm going off topic. You're getting 15, so your opponent will have to guard for 10. That means more. He'll have to guard more. So that's more for you for his hand to go down. And then you got like 12 crits in this deck, so you pull 2 crits and you're amazing. Well, 1 crit, actually, it's great too. So yeah, so Blaster Blade Spirit is not a bad tech choice. I recommend it to a lot of players. Now, let's talk about the 12 crit. Now you guys might be familiar. I'm just gonna bring it with 12 crit in the Royal Paladins, because they sack a lot. They do sack a lot. They do. Basically, they're more of an offensive deck, but that's what they do. They sack. Royals sack. They go double crit, double crit. But the thing about double crit is that they have 10k. First of all, crits have 10k shields, and Royals. Draw triggers are okay. Draw triggers are fine for this deck. I'm not knocking them. But I prefer crit, because crit goes, okay, crit gives okay, your opponent has to take more damage. That way, you can beat them faster. Because in this meta, in this gameplay right now, if you let your opponent live longer, then they're probably going to beat you. Because they got cross rides. Alfred's at 10k base, that's it. Not 11k, not 12k, 11k base, 10k base. So you'll be guarding a lot if you beat him late game. If you try beating him late game, so you want to rampage him. You want to go, I'm gonna beat you now. You want to double crit them, so then you don't have to worry about them later. The only bad part is that the limit breaks. Is that they're gonna pull off their limit breaks, and then you'll need a lot to guard. That's the only downside I see. So yeah, so 12 crit is fine. Stands are, I tried stands. I mean, if you look at stands with Palamedes, you have like two Palamedes on the field. You attack Palamedes. I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, I'm not knocking the stand trigger idea because it goes Palamedes attacks when you have like, say you have like Alfred on the field on your Vanguard circle. You attack you're by himself without Toipu. You're attacking for 13 right there. So if you attack with him first, with Toipu, that's a 22. You attack with Alfred, get stand out Palamedes back up, and you got an 18 attacker. Your opponent will have to guard for guard for more. So you're like eating his hand. Palamedes is like, I'm gonna eat your hand. So stands aren't bad either. I just don't like stands because I keep forgetting they're in there, for one, and for two, it's just like I'd rather have criticals because crits are like so much better. What else did I want to talk about with this deck? Okay, let's talk about Lian. Now, I see people running Lian all the time, but people run it so wrong. Here's what people do. They go, put it behind Alfred, and they're trying to get, they have the answers in their hand. They have grade 2 stuff. Now, don't use this, people use this card whimsy flimsy. Like every turn they go, oh, dump to draw, and then you're drawing your triggers. You don't want to do that every turn. You want to do it when you're in a pickle. Like if you like have like Palamedes, you already have 2 Palamedes on the field, and you have Alfred in your hand, and you have like Blaster Blade Spirit, or in Blaster Blade and Marin, and you got like 2 short Poogles on the field. You don't want to go, oh, I'm gonna do this. Dump an Alfred to draw. Well, I mean, you can dump the Alfred to draw, but here's what I see all the time. I see, get the Alfred, they have this field set up, they don't need it, they have so many cards in their hand, they're like 10 cards in their hand, they're just like, I'm just gonna do it for shits and giggles. And then they dump it on a card that they could be useful to draw a trigger. They just don't do it whimsy flimsy, just do it strategically. Like if you're in a pickle and you need the hand, like if you have all grade 3s in your hand, like you have grade 3 galore, and your opponent has like freaking monster cards up the yin yang, you want to use this Lian when you need to. You want to use it when it's more important. Like, I mean, if you have 2 interceptors, 2 cards in the field, you don't want to go dump to draw, to try to draw the grade 3. You have 2 intercepts in the field. You're good. And here's another problem I see people do. They have the Spirit, Alfred, 2 Torpedoes. Now they have 2 Palamedes in hand. I see them doing this. There's something wrong there. Here's what I see wrong here. He just gave up an interceptor to call a grade 3. Another guard to call a grade 3. That's great and all. But you have power on the field. You have a grade 3, 2 Marins, or 2 Poogle, and you have like barely anything in your hand. What I would have done is, what you should do, dump, try to draw a card to guard. You don't want to replace your interceptors. If you have interceptors on the field, and you're not going for final turn, you don't want to do that. Because you just go like, call. Your opponent's at like 3 damage, you call, get Palamedes on the field, I win. No, you don't always win Palamedes on the field, because Palamedes is the new target. Palamedes will die, and then you'll be out guard. I mean, you're minusing. You're minusing guarding abilities. You could use that Blaster Blade to guard, to intercept, for like 5, and then guard with a 10k from your hand. You can use that. You don't do that. It's just bad to do. And don't be like, you have 3 damage, and just to get rid of it, just to be like, it's useful when to intercept, when you have like cards in your hand to guard, you leave them there. You leave them there. You don't go, no, I'm going to intercept, because I want to call Palamedes. Now, that's not a good enough reason to get rid of a grade 2 to get a grade 3 on the field. I mean, that's what on the field, but you're still minusing yourself. And also, people are dumping triggers instead of grade 3s to perfect guard when they already have grade 3s on the field. And I'm like, dude, hello? Why would you not dump that grade 3 in your hand? I saw you drive trigger it. It's just really stupid. Now, let me talk to you guys about another thing. Let me see if I can have another thing to talk about. Oh, I can talk about Alfred. Alfred's counterblasting more. Okay, yeah. You got Alfred on the field, and you go. I'm talking. Counterblast 3. Call the end. You got him to counterblast to if you don't have like her on the field, you counterblast him to call. Don't use his effect. Okay, and here's another thing. I forgot to mention this. Don't use his effect willy-nilly. Okay, I use that actually. I do that sometimes. But I just realized something, that if you're versing gold paladins, don't do it. I just realized, why am I doing it? I do it against my friend all the time. That just gives them more freaking room to intercept, to use Ezel's effect, because Ezel's effect says call to open rearguard. So if you're retiring your rearguard, they'll be like, okay, I'm going to use this effect and give him a boost. I just realized I shouldn't be doing that, but I did, and now I realize I'm not going to do that anymore. I mean, I could do it if I'm in a pickle. But yeah, so Spear just, like, it's just like minus your opponent. Here's what the difference between, I mean, okay, people say, they're both 10Ks, why don't you run 3, 4, because here's what happens. If I call him, okay, yeah, I'm plussing 1. But if I call him, my opponent minuses, then I plus. Because I call him counter plus 1 minus my opponent plus 1. So yeah, guys. If I come up with more, oh right. Okay, I just thought something. Okay, now Wingle Brick. I'm gonna say this, guys. I wish we had a better grade starter, which says search for a grade 3 from your deck. I mean, he technically searched for a grade 3, he searched for MLB, but in other decks he's not very good because he just goes search for Blaster Blade, grade 2. Okay, now here's what I'm gonna say. If you don't have Leanne in your hand, don't use his effect, because then you write Alfred. He's there. He's giving your opponent an extra 2K boost. People say, "Oh, why are you gonna?" I mean, honestly, guys, every 2K counts. Every 1K, that's a different story. Every 2K counts. And Alfred needs that boost. Alfred needs that 2K. Now you can, just, every 2K counts. Now here's another thing. You don't have Alfred in your hand, you probably just, you want to use this effect to search for Blaster Blade. So then, for 1, you're deck thinning. For 2, I'm not retiring it. It's not just going to waste and retiring it for a Tortuga. So yeah, guys, this is my Royal Paladin Alfred beat discussion. This is what why I run my tech choices that I do, and I'm going to, guys, sign out on that point. I'll see you guys later, and I will be bye.